Hello my friends, and welcome to another watercolor tutorial. We are painting another birthday card, if you can't tell from my mediocre pencil drawing. So I'm going to be painting a cake, and I just drew with a pencil a guide for myself. So I have a basic cake. This is going to be the icing dripping down the cake, and then some sort of plate. And then I might add something on top. So I'm gonna paint my cake pink. But you can paint your cake whatever color that you desire. Now normally I wouldn't bother painting the top part since there's just gonna be icing on it, but it might look different since we're painting icing. The top might look different than the drips if there's no pink base there, since we're painting over it. So I probably will fill that in as well. And you can use, if you're choosing to follow along with the pink, then use whatever pink you have. I have two pinks that I'm kind of interchanging between here. And I think I'm going to add some sort of shading. But for now, I just want to get the base down. And fill this in. Whoops. I'm being hasty because I just put my baby to bed. And I'm afeared that she's going to wake up. I suppose my husband can deal with her, but I think that if she wakes up, it's because she's hungry. She didn't feed as much as I would think she would want to right before bed. I'm just adding some highlights to the center here. We can even take a little bit brown or black, or just even red might be more suitable if you want to add some shadows to your cake. I don't like this, but I'm going to cover that with acrylic paint later because I cannot be bothered to try and touch that up at the moment. So, okay, I am going to have to let this dry before I can do anything else. However, I think what I'm gonna do is just draw out my happy birthday greeting in the meantime. So you can like either look up a template for yourself. I'm just freehanding this. Happy I think I'm okay with that. Although I think what I'll do instead, because when I've drawn on greetings in the past, I like to make sometimes one font different than the other. Like that. I don't even know if that was on the screen. I should have spaced these out a bit more. But, yeah. Oh, I spaced them out too much, but that's okay. I'll leave it like that. Oh, you know what I didn't think of? I need to paint like cherries or something on top here, but they'll just overlap with a birthday. That is what I have determined. So I'm adding my own little, I don't know what these are called, when some parts of the letter are thicker than the others. Kind of looks like nappy birthday, but I have a slightly thicker marker that I'm just gonna go over these letters with. Looks a little bit amateur, but that's okay. So actually, no, I'm still gonna go over this with a blow dryer. So I really hope that is dry. And I'm just trying to determine what paintbrush I'm gonna use for this next part. I'll probably use two. One to fill it in and one to do the detail work. So take brown, whatever brown you have, and I can't really see my guide anymore for where I painted my chocolate dripping down the bottom. So I'm gonna kind of freehand it. Whenever I get my painting done on Friday, I always feel so accomplished, like the weekend is my oyster. Whatever that saying means. Because this, you know, this takes several hours. I don't paint just one video on Saturday. I paint 4 videos in a row, which is 2 weeks worth. Which works for me because then, you know, I'm painting for 2 weeks basically, and it gives me a little bit of wiggle room when there's a weekend that I can't paint at all and I have a bunch pre-painted. It works out. I'm gonna just switch paintbrushes because that is taking way too long. So for instance, in 2 weekends from now, I'll be going to my parents' house for Easter weekend. And yeah, obviously I won't be painting that weekend. I'm not gonna do that at their place. And that'll be okay because I have so many that are ready and pre-painted. And anyway, you can have your little driplets or whatever you want to call it, however you want on your cake. You can follow the way I'm doing it or kind of do your own thing. I think it would be fun if you tried kind of your own pattern, since this is pretty intuitive. Okay, so the thing is that I wanted to have some more, I don't know if they're called lowlights or shadows or whatever, but I wanted to have some on the edges of a lot of these little driplets. So I'm going in with some black and just adding those. Now, I also want highlights, so I'm gonna pick up some of that icing just at the top, following that original concave shape that we drew with our pencil, so that we have like a flat base. And you can even lift off some of the paint in the driplets that you painted. like so. And it makes it look nice and shiny. And while that is drying, I'm gonna paint the plate. So I'm gonna use probably like a nice fluorescent color for this. Ooh, I like that blue. I've been using this palette for several months now, and I'm still so amazed by it. Like, I haven't even tried all the colors. I am not one of those people when they get a new palette, they do one of those swatch tests. Those are not very helpful for me. If you do that, good for you. I'm glad that it helps you. But like, I would just forget what... Oh, I see. No, people, I get why they do it, because then they have the colors beside the palette so they know what they look like when they're painted on paper, because it's not always, it doesn't always appear the same on paper as it does in your palette. So I take back my smugness there. I do want to kind of add a little distinction between the layers. So once again, I am going in and trying to lift off some of that paint, like so. And I'm just going to quickly switch to a liner brush, and I just want to add, I took like a darker blue, and I'm adding shading just to the base here. Spread out a little bit too much for my liking. But that's nice. Okay. And the other thing I'm gonna do, I hope that this is dry, because I want to erase those pencil marks. Once I didn't let the ink from the marker dry, and I tried to erase the pencil marks, and I smudged the grading everywhere, and that was a sad day. But now we have to paint, like, you can leave it like this, why not? But I want to add I'm gonna just add a single cherry, because why overcomplicate things? So which red do I want to use? Do I want to use my nice metallic red, or this like super fluorescent pink thing going on? Oh shoot, sorry, I had naturally, that is what I do. I had brown on my paintbrush, and what did I do? I put it into a fluorescent pink. But I'm picking up pink and red. I don't like that though. I think I'm just gonna stick with the red. Sorry guys, I'm kind of experimenting here. Yeah, I'll just stick with the red. Or maybe maroon. Like a nice maroon color for a cherry. Ooh, yes, I like that. Okay. Actually, I can always add that in later. So I'll just stick with the red for now. Sorry. Back and forth, back and forth. So I'm gonna just freehand my cherry on. You can kind of paint it like a heart at first, and then adjust it to not look like a heart. So kind of around the top, plump out the bottom. Like so. And we can try and make this more distinct by adding, I took maroon that I'm putting on one side here, and then I am going to try to lift off some color. On this side to give it a little bit of a highlight. Red is so intense that it's kind of hard to rinse out the color from my brush. I'm gonna try and give it 2 highlight points like that. And the last thing that we can do is add a little stem to our cherry. So you can use green or black or brown, doesn't really matter. And gonna have mine coming out to here, and it's gonna have the upper end is gonna be flushed out a little bit like that. I'm nervous to connect it to the cherry. There we go. It's not really connected. Hold on. There we go. Okay. I think I'm satisfied enough to leave this the way it is. You can always put more cherries on yours, but we're 22 minutes into this. I am okay with this. No, sorry. One more thing. I'm gonna add sprinkles. I'm gonna take some white and kind of paint them on facing dip, like they're these little lines. I mean, I don't have to explain sprinkles. You guys know what sprinkles look like. And you can always have, so, okay, I forgot that I was gonna adjust that thing. Sorry, my acrylic paint just exploded. Because why not, right? This happens often. So now I have to fix it. Or clean it up, sorry. Okay. And how much do you want to bet that the acrylic paint that is now on my finger is going to somehow get on this painting? So I just wanted to fix that little mistake. And since I have the acrylic paint out, I'm going over my little sprinkles with the acrylic paint because it is much more opaque. So we can all see the sprinkles. Much easier this way. And you can always use the white acrylic paint as a base for your water. Like you can mix a watercolor into a little bit of acrylic paint and it'll make it more opaque. Into the white acrylic paint, I mean. But I think maybe a few more. Whoops, that was... I think I'm gonna just leave it there. That's enough sprinkles for my liking. Let me know what you guys thought of this tutorial. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, comment your feelings about it down below, and I will see you in the next tutorial.